name is Brie Phillips, and I'm a Métis woman from Creighton, Saskatchewan. I want to tell you a story today about how anything is possible. I've always loved the land, but I didn't grow up in my culture. It was something that I had to find for myself as an adult. Without that, this book would have never come to be, nor would I be the person I am today. I also grew up telling myself that I wasn't artistic. I found a love for art as an adult too. And I wrote this book as a class project that I thought no one would see. I didn't believe in myself, but somebody else did. The Retired Teachers Association of Manitoba found my book on my university's online journal from Googling my name. I had written this book as a class project for one of my Bachelor of Education classes. It was meant to embody the spirit of Kinanau. Kinanau is a Cree word that loosely translates to all of us. So when I sat down to write the book, I immediately thought about my time growing up in nature as a kid and also the time that I found there as an adult. I also thought about my grandma and the magical person that she was. Writing this book for me has helped me remember how important it is to connect to the land, connect to your roots, and to believe in yourself. When the Retired Teachers Association of Manitoba found my book, they connected with it deeply, and they approached me to work together to publish it as a part of Manitoba 150 and in honor of Truth and Reconciliation in Canada. This is something that I had never imagined would ever happen for me, but I put my heart into this project when I did it. And I think that when you put your heart into things, it always pays off. It took about 3 years, but this book, my book Roots, is now in every school in Manitoba, every public library in Manitoba, and is now moving its way across Saskatchewan. It is a dream that I hadn't even dreamt up yet. So as you read this book, I just want you to remember that anything you want to do is possible. Roots. Dear readers, I hope this book helps you find your roots and whatever else you may need, as the journey of writing helped me to rediscover mine. Never forget where you come from. Thank you, Ikose Miigwech. When I was a little girl, I was told a story by my grandmother. Grandma always spoke so carefully when she told her stories. It was as if every word of hers was meticulously and intricately selected. My sister and I would sit eagerly at Grandma's rounded, sandy-colored kitchen table and listen with attentive diligence as her soft-spoken words were drawn out into the silence. In long, swirling breaths, the story would spin to life in your imagination, Grandma's eyes twinkling as she watched her audience being carried away by the warm winds of her speech. Grandma spoke often of the earth and how each and every one of us is a part of her. She said that when you walk through the woods in solitude on the quietest winter day, when the snow is crisp beneath your feet and diamonds dance across the air in the form of whirling snowflakes, only then would you begin to truly understand. All of us, she explained, are born of the earth here. Grandma's words were strung together in an intricate pattern. The way they wove through one another reminded me of the complicated and beautifully beaded rows she would sew into our slippers, her hands moving at a similar speed to her storytelling. We all belong to every part of the earth. Grandma smiled. But your homeland is a place that is extra special. Your homeland is the land that our ancestors have shared and left to us. She stopped for a second. Do you know where ours is? Grandma eyed my sister and me as we maintained quizzical facial expressions. Our home lies in the north, and it is unique to the rest of the world. We nodded, taking in the information. Each of us communicates with the land beneath our feet. As we get to know it, our roots grow like those of the pine trees in the forest. We lay them down, deep under the surface, anchoring our physical existence to the soil we were born onto. Our roots become deeper and stronger over time, she continued, constantly intertwining, growing through and with those around us. We bring new life onto the same soil that we were born of, and that our ancestors were born of long before us. Our connection grows even greater. We become unified, and we must communicate to exist. We depend on each other. Grandma stopped, letting a slow, long breath out. The sound of her breath took up space in the silence, leaving the air hanging in a lingering state of suspense as we waited for her to go on. I am not only talking about humans, Grandma explained. Everything on the earth must work together to keep growing while supporting each other. When you walk through the forest, she reiterated, you will know. It is important that we take care of this earth because we are her. Her brows furrowed at the significance of this message. We are all in this together, and we are all one. She smiled, but I felt the fire beneath her breath when she spoke. All of us.